Hey, it's Kayla. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to create your makeup starter kit at Walmart for around $60 or less. So I kind of have a majority of them as like the lower priced option, and then I have a couple that have a little bit of like you can do the lower priced option or the higher one. And obviously these are not the only options, but these are more of the affordable option to get you in that price point around $60, which I know seems like a lot, but when you're getting about 14 products, I mean, it's a pretty decent deal considering some people have to spend like $100. I'm just gonna pop them on the screen right here. So starting off for primer, I would go with Hard Candy Sheer Envy. They have like the hydrating primer. They have multiple different options I'm gonna have here. I know one of them is like a pore defense one. There's a mattifying one, all different kinds. They are $6.96 each. At least when I looked it up at Walmart, that's what it said. So I'm just going to base it off of more like my Walmart. I'm guessing most of them are the same price. You can do more research if you need like a specific primer though. That is just the one I would start out with if I was restarting learning how to do makeup, and this is just like a beginner kind of kit. For foundations, I have two options. So if you're more on a budget and you're trying to go with the more affordable option, I would go with Hard Candy's Glamouflage foundation. I personally use that one, but I actually started out using Maybelline Fit Me's. So Hard Candy's is $6.96 a bottle, and then Maybelline's is a little bit more, it's $8.62. So I guess it would more depend on like your shade range that you need. I know Maybelline usually has like a wider variety. Then moving on to concealer, I highly recommend Rimmel London Stay Matte Concealer. That retails for about $5.95. I don't know how great the shade range is on that one, but that is the one I would highly recommend starting off with. Moving on to contour, I have two options. So I have more of a stick type of option, and then there's like a powder option. So for sticks, I have two which are about the same price. Wet n Wild has a dual-ended contour stick. It has like a highlight and the contour on the other end. That one retails for $5.47, or right around the same price for $5.97 is Hard Candy's highlight and contour stick. I'm not really sure. This is the one that I found when I was looking it up. I'm not sure if they changed it. I have Hard Candy's highlight and duo stick. I'm not sure if that's technically the same one or not. Then if you don't like sticks and you want to use powder, I couldn't really find a lot of options at my Walmart at least, because I was doing the in-store option. There is a Wet n Wild contouring palette. They look like this. I don't know about using the highlight part of it, but if you want to get it for just the contour, that retails for $4.47, so it's a little bit lower. Moving on to setting powder, I have a lot of options compared to the rest. So you can either have like a pressed powder, or you can have a loose powder. Pressed powder is one where you just like brush it on out of the compact, or the loose powder is where you shake it out and have like the powder. So for pressed powder options, I have three options. So two of them are more affordable, and then one of them's a little bit higher. So there's CoverGirl Clean Invisible Pressed Powder, and then they also have a Clean Matte Pressed Powder. They both retail for $6.98. There's also Maybelline Fit Me's Matte and Poreless Pressed Powder. That one retails for about $8.68. So it would more depend on shade range wise and maybe store availability for your pricing there. Now if you wanted to go for a loose powder, CoverGirl has a Clean Invisible Loose Powder, same type of thing as the other one. It's just loose powder. That one is $6.78, so it's actually a little bit cheaper for that one. And then Maybelline, they have a wider shade range. They have a loose finishing powder that is $8.98. For bronzer, there isn't like a ton of options. I know there's not really like a stick option, at least at my Walmart. I found this little compact one. This is Wet n Wild's Icon Bronzer. It is a more shimmery type of bronzer. I'm not a fan of that, but I know I used that when I first started out doing makeup. That retails for $4.47. For blush, there are three options that I had. For the powder blushes, I have two options. There's Elf's Blush, which is the one that I usually use. It's $3 for the little compact. And then Wet n Wild has one very similar. It's $3.28. It is the Wet n Wild Icon Blush. But if you're more into like the stick kind of, not liquid, but just like a stick kind of makeup application, Wet n Wild has a Mega Glow Vitamin E makeup stick that retails for $3.98. Moving on to brow pencils, I'm personally not a fan of e.l.f.'s, so I wouldn't really recommend that for your starter kit, but I would recommend Physicians Formula brow pencil. Looks similar to the other ones that I use. That brow pencil retails for $3.28. If you're more into brow pomades and stuff, I didn't really see many options like that. But if you're just starting out, I would start out with a brow pencil because that'll be your easiest thing to get used to. For mascara, I would recommend Wet n Wild's Mega Volume Mascara. It retails at $3.28. Obviously, you can go in more detail once you get more used to wearing makeup. If you want to get a different style of the wand that they have, I would go with that one though, just to start out. Now, eyeshadow palettes are not necessarily a need if you're trying to do more basic. Like I didn't use eyeshadow in my makeup today, But if you want to do like a simple eyeshadow look, I found actually a decent amount of options. So e.l.f., Wet n Wild, and Hard Candy all have like these little mini palettes. I'm going to pop them on the screen as I say them. So e.l.f. has a bite-sized eyeshadow palette for $3, and there are several different shade options. They seem pretty decent for if you want to do like colorful looks or if you want to do more of a neutral look. I'm pretty sure they have a variety of colors for that. Then Wet n Wild has an Icon palette, which is $3.28, and they also have several options. And then to add to that, Hard Candy has a Mood shadow palette where it says Mood, but I think one of them says Burn, so I'm kind of confused, but they retail a little bit more. They're $3.98, but they all roughly are similar in the way that they are made. They have a good variety, and it's definitely better than having to spend $10 on a full palette if you want to just get like one small thing to start out. For lips, I found several options, whether you want to go with lipstick or lip gloss. For lipsticks, Wet n Wild had a bunch of different shades to pick from. They had the Wet n Wild Last Rich Satin Color lipsticks. They are $2.18 a piece. And then they also had the Mega Last Matte lip colors and Mega Last High Shine lip colors, so they're all similar, I guess, in like the type of branding for them. They retail for $2.28, and there's a little bit more of a range on those. But if you're not into wearing lipstick, or you don't really want to start out wearing lipstick, you could go in for a lip gloss. Wet n Wild has Mega Slicks lip glosses. They are $2.28 a piece. But you can also just skip that and just wear like regular chapstick if that would be something that you're interested in. Like if you just want something tinted, it's a little bit more, but e.l.f. has a Squeeze Me lip balm, but I didn't really add that on this because it's not really in the budget for that. And then last, I have Applicators, however you want to word it. I have three main ones. Starting off, we have the Equate makeup sponge that retails for 97 cents. Obviously, you can get more expensive ones in the future if you'd like to upgrade, but I would just start out with the Equate one. It works just as well. Then I would get the Equate makeup brush. It's more of like a face brush. This one is a $2.97. They also have a variety of other brushes, but if you're just starting out, I personally use the same brush for most things when I do them. But when you're just learning, it doesn't hurt to have one brush. You don't always need like 5 different brushes just for powders. And then last, if you decide to go with eyeshadow, they have eyeshadow brushes. Wet n Wild has, I think there's 2 of them that are $1 each, and then there's like another one that's a slightly different price. But the one that I have is more of a basic eyeshadow brush for $1 by Wet n Wild. So I went through, and if you get every single item that is the least expensive on the list, going down from primer, foundation, concealer, contour, setting powder, bronzer, blush, brow pencil, mascara, eyeshadow palette, lips, and if you get one of each, like the sponge, the face brush, and one eyeshadow brush, with tax it'd be about $58.59. And then if you went and you got the base price with whatever the higher end option would be for certain items, it would be about $66.45 with tax, give or take, obviously, because sometimes pricing is different. But I want to go through and I want to tell you what I would choose if I was starting out. Like from this list here, if I was helping you pick out makeup and you wanted my personal recommendations, these are what I would pick if I had to start over from zero. Starting off with primer, I'd probably skip primer, because that's almost $7, and I personally don't even wear it half the time. We're just going to move on to foundation. I would recommend getting Maybelline Fit Me's foundation. I know it's a little more pricey, but I would go with that one. Then for concealer, I would go with the only option that I gave, which is Rimmel London Stay Matte Concealer. I love that concealer. My store just stopped getting it, so I can't use it anymore. But then for contour, I would go with a stick versus a powder. I would pick Hard Candy's Highlight and Contour Stick. Then for setting powder, I would recommend more of a pressed powder instead of a loose powder. I know loose powder can seem more fun because of like baking and stuff, but I think it's safer and it's just easier if you're doing a more basic look to go with maybe like the CoverGirl clean ones. Those seem pretty decent. I didn't even know that they really had those anymore, but I would get the CoverGirl pressed powder. I'm personally not a fan of the bronzer, but I will add it on. Sometimes you could always use it. Then I would go with e.l.f.'s blush. And then for the brow pencil, I'd go with Physician Formulas. For mascara, I would go with Wet n Wild Mega Volume Mascara. And then I would honestly skip eyeshadow altogether, because I know it can seem like you feel like you need eyeshadow, but you don't always need eyeshadow when you're starting out. I probably should have included eyeliner on here. You could always use eyeliner, but personally, I just take my contour and add it in my outer corner and blend it in. I didn't do it today because my eyebrow piercing is still healing. I normally would do that. So I'm going to skip eyeshadow palettes altogether. And same with lipstick. I'm wearing lipstick today, but I would just go with a chapstick if I was doing more natural makeup that I'm just learning basics. So I would get the Equate makeup sponge for 97 cents, and then I would also get the face brush. So altogether, that would be about $45.49 before tax, and then adding tax would make it around $48 and some change, give or take. Pricing could be a little bit different. Get like the bare minimum that I would recommend getting if I was starting out. Get it like if I had no makeup and I had to buy it all again. That's what I would get. Obviously, you can pick and choose, you can mix and match. You also don't have to get everything from Walmart. When you're getting makeup, you can get the makeup from, I know Dollar Tree sells affordable makeup. I think Family Dollar used to sell affordable makeup. I would just be careful though, because I think I might have broke out from their foundations when I started out. But that is pretty much it. This is like how to get your affordable makeup kit as a beginner for around or under $60. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I do a variety of makeup tutorials. I do some videos like this where I break down prices, and I also play video games. I have to put the makeup looks on pause for just a little bit until my eyebrow piercing is more healed and I can change the bar and stuff. But I can do more videos like this right now and more simple looks if you want to see like a more basic look, like a full tutorial, or if you want to see more price breakdowns, I can go through. We can go shopping at Target, we can go back to the Dollar Tree, and I can see what options they have there. Or if you want, I can also mix and match and see what the best options would be and what I would recommend that you get if you would shop between the different stores. I can also do like what's in my makeup collection that I use like on a weekly basis if you want to see that. Let me know what you think, and thanks for watching.